I was little and I had imaginary friends. And I always say, if your kid's got an imaginary friend, they're not imaginary.
We've all been chosen and we've all got these gifts. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis and today I am so bloody excited to be joined by one of my soul sisters. Like literally, she's my sister from another mister for sure. I haven't known Emma very long, but my goodness, has the connection been absolutely incredible. So today we are actually calling this video, What Happens When Two Channelers Connect? Emma is an extremely powerful, and I mean powerful, channeler and medium. When we were talking before, I'm like, what should I call you, Emma? Are you a medium? Are you a psychic? And she was like, actually, I kind of just feel drawn to say that I'm a channeler these days. So that's something, and that's the language that I use. So first and foremost, Emma, I know this isn't what your chosen or your preferred method of communication is with people. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this video with me. It's bloody lovely to see you on here, babe. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're always welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Not so much into how you got your gifts, but tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? Talk a little bit about you, and then obviously we can go into the channeling stuff shortly.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Emma. I have 6 children. 5
Brave
boys,
lady.
1 girl.
5 boys, 1 girl. Oh, what a gift.
Yeah, they are. I'm from Warrington, but live in Manchester.
Yeah.
Lived in Manchester since I was 19, so
Manchester's home for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're obviously married to a lovely man. I love her husband, everybody, just so you know. I absolutely love him. I think the world of him. Oh my God, he blows my mind most of the time, but he's such an incredible man. How long have you guys been married?
So we've only been together 10 years, but he's my twin flame. And the first time I met him, I actually remember meeting him and thinking, oh, I need an excuse to get away. Get away.
That's what happens with twin flames, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, this person's annoying me. Oh my goodness, what do I do? This person's showing me all of my baggage and I don't like it.
It's like, I was messaging my friend and I was like, I'm going to stay with him until I meet up with you later because he can drop me off. My car had been stolen, so I had no choice but to stay with him till he could drop me off. And then I was going out, and literally from that day to this, we haven't been apart.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
did he actually drop you off that night or not?
He did. He dropped me off with my friend because he was going to work because he worked nights. Oh. But he was meant to be going to football beforehand, but he missed football. He missed everything because we just couldn't.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. And you really do have a beautiful relationship now. Like, it's something that, it's not very often I sit and say to people, like, I love the connection. I love the relationship that you've got. And you guys don't pretend to be perfect or anything like that, but you're real. And it's such a beautiful love. And the level of respect between the two of you is just incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
It really is. I remember both of you being at Soul School in Manchester, and I remember doing all the work around the room, and I can't remember which meditation it was. I think it was the heart activation, and you two had just gone off into your own little area, just the two of you meditating, and I was like, oh my God, this is just so beautiful, and I remember doing some work on you, and then I remember doing some work on Kevin, and I was just so blown away by the connection that you guys have got, and the evolution that you've been on over this year, probably even since the end of last year, has been absolutely unbelievable, Emma.
It's a totally different story. If you'd have met from when we first met, and we were always in love in our relationship, but the transformations, just through surrender, truth, and love.
And what I love is, even since I've known you, so just so everybody knows, I actually met Emma through a mutual friend. couple of years ago, maybe. Like, not, we didn't meet per se, but we kind of knew of each other a couple of years ago. And then it was really June 2022.
Yeah, I was going to say it's about June, July.
Yeah, it was basically at some point last year, you know, in that middle chunk. So not the first 3 months, not the last 3 months, but somewhere in that middle chunk, Emma actually got sick, you know, and it was one of my team reached out to me and said something, and I was like, I need to speak to her. It's as simple as that. I need to speak to her. And it's formed this absolutely incredible bond. Like, it's not even a year. Like, obviously, like I say, we've known each other longer because of the circumstances, and, you know, we'd heard about each other and all the rest of it. But this pull that got us together in at some point last year it's ridiculous how close we've become.
Roots from the same tree. We're roots from the same tree, and it's like when you reconnect with that root, you just, as soon as we were connected, that's it. Now I'll always be connected with you, no matter what side of the earth we're on.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love, Emma, and we were both talking about this just before we came on live, is, you know, first and foremost, there is absolutely no ego. Like, I respect Emma's work. Honestly, she's one of the best channels that I know. I trust her, and whenever I'm, it's the truth. Whenever I'm in a bit of a, I can't, like, my ego's getting involved or whatever, I'm like, like, I need your help right now. And that's because I trust her implicitly. And I never thought that I would say that. You know, I never thought, especially the circumstances in which we met, I never thought that I would say that, but I really, really do. And what I love is that Emma and I call on each other constantly without having to call on each other. We can call each other energetically, and we know that we've got each other's back. And we've done that so many times in the last 10 months or so, right?
Yeah, because you'll just say a message, and I'm like, oh, I've already done that.
Yeah, exactly.
You say something to Kev, and I'll be like, I literally was channeling that 20 minutes ago, and we're connected. And like, I've never trusted women
No.
before, and you're the first woman that I wholeheartedly trust.
Yeah. And this is the beautiful reminder, is why, you know, David and I spoke about messengers and signs and stuff. This was a message for you. It was time to heal and remember that you are loved, and women can be trusted. Okay, not everybody, but then not everybody can be trusted, full stop. Doesn't matter what sex they are. And actually what we've done is we've come together, and I love it, because sometimes I'm like a little bit west side, but this is what I just got. And then Emma's like, yeah, I've got this and I've got that. And have you considered this? And between the two of us, and that's why we've called this video, What Happens When Two Channelers Meet, is you and I have been able to pull some absolute magic together over the last 10 months, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Just bouncing off of each other and grounding each other at the same time.
Yeah.
Because when you channel, you go out there.
Yeah.
And then it's knowing the balance. And I'll say something thinking, is that really out there? And then you'll come in with the left side, and I've got the right side, and it's like, okay.
And we just fit together. And actually what I love is when Kevin Scott obviously shared at Soul School that they're kind of like two pieces of the puzzle that fit together. That's exactly what you and I are. We just complement each other on the work that we do, and it always ends up coming back together, doesn't it? So I'll have kind of like these pieces over here, you'll have these pieces, and then all of a sudden we'll be like, that's how it fits together, and it's absolutely amazing. But I don't want to talk about me today. I want to talk about you. Because like I say, Emma is an incredible channel. She can channel pretty much anyone or anything. So, you know, if you decide to have a reading with her at some point, be warned, someone or something will come through. I remember, just a little tangent right now, but I remember being on the train back from, I'd been somewhere from Southampton airport, and I'd got off the plane in Southampton, and I'd got on the train, and I remember sitting on the train, and I was so emotional about something. I can't remember what I was emotional about, but I was probably, David and I just got together or something, and I was like, oh, you know, whatever. And Emma was like, I don't know why, I need to talk to you about ballroom dancing. She's like, I don't know why, I've just got this overwhelming urge of you standing on a man's toes, ballroom dancing. And it was what I used to do with my granddad when I was younger. And it was the message that I needed exactly to hear at exactly that time. And this is why I love you, because you don't think, I'm not sending her that. That's freaking crazy. You're just like, I don't know why I need to send this to you, but I do. And it just connects the dots. And you are one of the most humble people that I know. You are somebody that I know doesn't believe that they deserve what they deserve. And this is why, obviously, I'm doing some work with you with self-love, and I've brought you into soul school and stuff like that, because people often think that as channels, as mediums, as spiritual mentors or whatever, that we've got our stuff together. And that's not the case, Em, is it?
No, no, not at all. And I used to, I mean, I've done this, spoke to spirit for a long, long time. In the last 2 years, when I've done trauma release on me, decided to love me and realised that I want to live, my channeling has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
And the connection, I always had that connection there, but I was self-sabotaging.
Yeah, of course. Of
And I
course.
was scared of, if I give it, will you take it, won't you take it? Whereas now I know what I'm getting is right.
Yeah. There's no
And whether you
question.
want to take it or not, that's up to you. But I know what I'm giving you is right.
I love that, Emma. I love your certainty these days. You weren't certain like this just a year ago. Like,
No.
so I get tingles when I speak to you, because I'm like, yes, she's stepping into her own, she's stepping into her power. And there's a couple of points that you've just said. First and foremost, let's have a little bit of the history of, when did your gifts come online, and like, when did you realize that, you were a gift to the world?
So I've never known any different. I was little, and I had imaginary friends. And I always say, if your kid's got an imaginary friend, they're not imaginary.
Right.
It's
Chatting to
spirit.
spirit.
Yeah, completely. And one of the most profound memories as a child, which is one of the reasons I shut down, was I gave a lot of information about the junior school that I was in. I think I was on, I don't even think I was in year 2, and we were asked to put the games equipment away in the shed. And I didn't know that the shed was it's like an old cottage, because it was a listed building. And when I went in the shed, an old man called Noah told me to get out of his house and don't come back in. So I ran out and said to a teacher, I'm not putting anything else away because Noah doesn't want us in his house. And one of the teachers, that was curious, because it was a listed, Victorian school building, they kept the log. He was curious and went back to the caretakers, because that was the old caretaker's home. And there was a Noah in it about 100 years earlier. And he told the headmaster, thinking it was brilliant. And the headmaster called my mum in and was talking about getting me put in a special school for children that were mentally ill.
Oh gosh. So at that point, how old were you at this point, Em?
I think I was about 5 or 6.
Wow, so a baby, still a baby,
Yeah,
and you're this gifted little being, and then you shut it down.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And how long did you shut down for?
I shut down for years. I would get the odd thing with friends, because I would always that special child. I would freak people out. Friends would say, "Come in the house," and I'd go, "No, because there's something that lives in your house, and I'm not coming in." Or
And you'd
I'd
see things in the window and stuff, I imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was used to go in people's houses, so people just stopped inviting me around, and I just kept myself to myself.
You were the
And
weird kid.
um, and I had sort of a few experiences, sort of in my teens, where I got bullied really, really bad, and I was really low, and I lost my dad when I was 10, and then I got on the bus, and this man said to me, "Just go home to your mum, you'll be okay." And the bus stopped, and he got off, and I waved, and then I realised it was my dad. And where the bus had stopped was the graveyard where he was
Oh,
buried.
oh, that's so
And
beautiful.
I knew then someone always had my back. I don't know. I always knew I could fight and I could carry on. Even if I couldn't see it, there was a strength coming from somewhere that
Yeah.
kept me going. But forwarding sort of till I got to about 22 and I was having a really, really difficult time. And I completely shut off at this point. And I went for a walk and I was really lost. And I found myself going into a little scout hut and it was a spiritual church. And I sat at the back of the church and I didn't want to read in or anything like that. I just wanted somewhere to feel safe. And I remember saying, get me through this and I will do whatever you want me to do. I will do what you sent me here to do. I just need you to make me feel like I'm here for a purpose. Because I was really lost at that time and I was having a hard time in my first marriage. And literally, I think it was about 3 weeks went by, everything started to get better. I was feeling better. Things were moving forward. I just woke up one morning, went on Facebook, went on one of these sale sites, advertised psychic medium readings, and my sister messaged me and went, "Are you advertising doing readings online?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You've never done it. You won't even speak to people you don't know." And I was like, "I don't know. I just feel like I need to do it."
Wow.
And I've done it ever since.
Wow. Emma, that's such an amazing story. That's so amazing. So, because I do believe that all of us, like I went to sleep for many, many years. I went to sleep from the age of 10 or 11 to the age of 35. I switched it off because it scared the heck out of me. And also, I wanted to fit in, believe it or not. You wouldn't believe that now these days, but back then I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be normal. And, to be that brave to just put yourself out there, like, because it is brave. It's a level of bravery that a lot of people would never understand. So talk to me about that, Em. How have you worked this? Because you've got a beautiful shop in Sale in Manchester. How do you work your readings these days?
So I used to go to people's houses,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people they go to readings for comfort. And I think, as mediums, we're helping people and I love helping people, but I always still felt like and I was here for something further.
Yeah.
And over the last 10 years, actually, because when I got with Kev, he packed in his job and looked after our oldest between us two, who's 8, so I could work because my first husband wouldn't let me work.
Yeah.
And I just again woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to have a room. Going to people's houses is nice, but people still have their problems in their houses. They still have their fear. They still have all this chatter. And
And
when
what
I
if
chat,
somebody's listening,
exactly, and I'm going to create a safe space where people can just come in and relax. Because you do get people coming and like, prove it to me. And when you go into someone's house, it's very difficult because I'm picking up on energy. And if I go into your house and you've had 15 visitors that week, I'm also picking up on their energy.
Yeah, of course.
So I have a safe space. I have my room. I have crystals in it. And now my readings, I always say, spirit give you what you need, not what you want through me. You get exactly what you need. You might get told that you've got to go and face up to what you're creating. You might get told that it's time to step back in situations. But I always say to people, they give you exactly what you need. So
Yeah.
people come in and spirit will know straight away, or when I channel, it's all just about spirit. But then sometimes it's all the future.
Yeah.
So, and I can never say to someone, oh, I'm just going to focus on this for you. Because once I open, because I allow spirit to step in
Yeah.
with me, I'm not just hearing, I take on their persona.
Their
It goes
language.
exactly. Yeah, I do.
I've heard some brilliant languages come out of Emma. I often get
It's,
voice notes and I'm like, who even are you?
I do. Like sometimes I do it, and I'm like, my eyes are like really wide, like what's coming out of my mouth? I didn't even, and I try and do accents afterwards, and I can't do them for toffee, but when I'm channeling, I'm brilliant.
Honestly, it's amazing. So Emma sent me a message, I don't know, within the last few months, and it was Spanish. And I was like, David, can you translate this for me? Because he speaks fluent Spanish. And he was like, that Spanish is brilliant. And then I speak to her and she's like, I can't.
I can say, oh, man, how are you? And what's your name? Oh, I'm pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's fascinating. Like, you know, I know I've been in situations, Morocco is a good example of this, and I don't want to go too much into what happened in Morocco, but I was channeling something in Morocco, and I knew that day that something was going to happen. And then Emma out of nowhere sent me a message, and it was channeled, and it wasn't Emma, it was an entity, we'll call it an entity, working through Emma, delivering a message to me. And it's just fascinating the way that this works, because I will channel, but more often than not I am me, and it comes out as me. Sometimes it's a little bit more hurried, sometimes I mean, you guys all saw me at Soul School, like my eyes were wide or certain things, but my face changed color and things like that. But very much it's Lucy's delivering the messages, whereas you embody fully whatever it is that's coming through you, right?
Yeah, I just step aside and in they come, and I trust, because I'm high vibrational, I know that it's coming through with the right reasons, and it's gonna go back to where it came from.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I just surrender.
Yeah, which is the whole part of it, right? And I actually think that might be a nice place for us to go next, is like, how do you lean into your gifts? Like, how do you do it? You know, I truly believe, and this is my belief system, and I make no secret of this, but I truly believe that everybody's telepathic, everybody's psychic, everybody's intuitive, everybody is everything. I believe that everybody can do everything. It's a case of we allow to happen in our lives what we're comfortable with happening. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's so, because I was natural, I've always found it difficult to explain how you do it. But recently I've asked my guides, like, can you go into it more with me? And when I'm in life, for me, I question everything. Should have said that? Well, I used to. I'm more in my own energy now. Should have said that. Why did I do that? And everything's more about, oh, be careful you don't upset them. Be careful you don't do this. But when I channel, I'm doing it for you. And I love other people, and I want to help everybody. So I fully surrender, and I can shut off my mind for you. So when it's for me, I'm still thinking, what's my daughter doing? Where's my son? Why have they done that? Why have they left their socks there when I've told
Yeah.
them not to? My
Mm-hmm.
brain won't shut off. But when I'm in my space and I'm going, right, and now I need to know, is Lucy okay? Is Lucy okay? My brain can switch off.
Yeah.
And it will be seen the same for everyone. If you can meditate and just believe and quiet your mind with the nonsense, and the way, if you just started to do it, to focus on someone else, will they be okay? And I always one of my examples lately, and Kev laughs at me, is sometimes you'll think, do I need the toilet? But then you'll go, I know I need the toilet. And when you're channeling, it's not your voice.
Yeah.
And it's like with your gut.
Yeah.
Someone will go, how do I know it's my gut? You wake up in the morning and it says, he lied to you. And then the devil on the shoulder says, oh, but he wouldn't do this. And you did this last time. And then there was a massive row. So just leave it. Don't bother. And then an hour goes by, and out of nowhere, the little voice in here goes, he lied to you. And then in kicks the devil on the shoulder again. You just know. And it's about trusting yourself.
Yeah.
And I've got more and more. I mean, I've done it even when I wasn't that confident. And I used to, God, how Kev's not left me. I used to spend hours going, I'm not very good at this. I'm fake. I'm making all this up. And he'd be like, you can't make up what a granddad had written on a stone. And and you can't make up that he used to chase her with banana peels and things like that. And I'm like, right, okay. And it's surrender and trust. And to be fair, you've helped me with that the surrendering and trusting. And now when my soul says something, they're not telling me otherwise.
Good for you. Good for you. I do think that is a massive element of it. When you can step out of your own way, that is when it like you say, the channel opens and it flows. And I over the last couple of weeks, Emma, I know you're very aware of this, but over the last couple of weeks, my flow hasn't been as flowing as it normally is. And in the last 24 hours, it's like she's back open and it's wide and everything's coming in and I'm seeing the bigger picture again. And it's because I was going through an emotional situation. And this is me. I'm a spiritual mentor to thousands of people around the world. Like, why am I getting in my head? Because I need to remember. And this is why we've all been chosen and we've all got these gifts. It's just about going, hey, hang on a minute, I'm blocking myself. I need to step out of my own way. And I love having a reading. Like, I am a bugger. I absolutely love it. Not because I can't get it myself, but I just like hearing what other people have got to say and the bits that they pick up, because sometimes people will pick up things that aren't important to me. So I forget about it, because I want to know about how's the relationship with me and David going to go, or what's going to happen with the new house or something. Whereas actually there's things behind that are very important that I'm ignoring because my ego wants to focus on the bits that I want to focus on. And I love, Emma, that you just said that your ego has blocked you. I didn't know about the banana skins or the banana peels or whatever. Like, I must be making this up. This is what happens when you start to step into your gifts. You start to question yourself, don't you? And then what happens is you sabotage it. So your gifts shut down.
You do, you self-sabotage. It's manifest. When we manifest, if you go into a job going, I'm not going to get this, I'm not going to get this, I assure you, you're not going to get it.
No, because the universe wants to prove you right.
Then
the universe wants to prove you right.
Exactly. And if you go into a job going, it's mine, already got it, my job. And I can't stress enough, if you get anywhere, I always like, now with my kids, don't argue with them. If they've done something and I think they need to apologise, telling my 16-year-old he needs to apologise is like trying to get blood out of a stone. So now my energy, I feel you need to see what you've done. You need to look at what you're doing as well as telling me what I've done wrong. And I'll say to him, what do you want for tea? But what he's hearing is, you need to have a good think about what you've done.
Yeah.
Because language shouldn't exist. I've said this before. I hate language. It shouldn't exist. If you stepped on my foot and I went, you'd either laugh or go, and we'd both be like, it's okay. But if you stepped on my foot and I went, you effing idiot, and you go, well, I'm not apologising because you just called me an effing idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a thing over something ridiculous.
Exactly. It's a fascinating world that we live in. This human experience is so fascinating, and I think this is why so many people, particularly now, are so interested in what's going on in the alternative realms, because we know this one doesn't quite make sense. And there's people out there that say, oh, don't meddle with it, you shouldn't speak to spirit. Why the fuck not? We're all capable of doing it, excuse my French, but it's the truth. Why shouldn't we? I love it.
Not to.
Yeah. Oh, you're connecting with the devil.
Or your superpower.
Yeah, exactly, which is why they've called it that. But also, I don't mean to be funny, but you walk into a bar and you're connecting with the devil. Like, alcohol is
no bigger poison, is there?
Exactly. No, so it's fascinating. It's fascinating that we're living in these times right now, and we are living through a mass awakening, Em, right?
Now, like, even my clientele, everyone that's walking through my door now, I've got women sitting on my chair and saying I had a dream and Archangel Michael was stood at the bottom and he was, and you know, as opposed to coming in to see if their dog's coming through to say hello, it's just everything is changing. I've got lads coming in saying I keep seeing bright lights in my dreams and things, and I'm helping so many people just embrace
Yeah.
your own truth.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Just
not going nuts. Embrace your own truth. And yeah, you will go through the path of, why did I believe that? Why did I do this? But,
yeah.
you know, we're all out there. I'll help people. You'll help people. You know, we're there for the taking.
Absolutely. You just mentioned dreams, and I actually think right now is a really, really interesting period of time where dreams are concerned. What's your take on it right now, Em? I feel that the veil has never been thinner, and this is why so many people are having communications through their dreams.
Yeah, it's the truth is coming
Yeah.
without a doubt. And people, you're going to be scared, and it's okay to be scared. And you know, you're gonna have dreams where you know you're gonna see the end of things. You might see bright lights, you might see floods, you might see explosions. And it's the end of new beginnings.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
all I can say is, if you get a dream that makes you wake up and think, "Whoa, what was that?" Listen to it.
Write it down. First step, you've got to write it down.
Yeah,
And then just allow because I think at the moment we're going through a big process, right? Dreams are either coming through to show you what you need to heal, bring
yeah,
things into wholeness, insights into the future. Like a lot of the team at the moment are sharing dreams because they're seeing insights into the future, and what we're doing is we're kind of piecing together what we believe is going to happen because of the profound stuff that is coming through from people right now. But also a lot of people from the past are presenting themselves in roles in like almost like superior roles, if you like, on pedestal kind of role, because we need to actually kick that pedestal away and actually allow that to just dissipate and flow.
yeah. Well, we're gonna start seeing people that shouldn't be in the positions they are. The veil's going, they cannot hide now. And this is why things are making it to the newspapers. This is why they're slipping up on TV with dates and things like that, because there's higher things coming in at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and you've just, if there's ever a time to trust yourself, and if you've got family members saying don't be so stupid, you're having a breakdown. I mean, I've had 5 people come to me, and 2 of them were sectioned.
Wow.
2 of them were sectioned, and what they told me made complete sense. So I said, then I need to be sectioned as well. And I know half of the team that I'm on need to then as well.
Yeah.
And we all can't be wrong.
No.
You know, you can do that
No.
to one, but you can't do it to 10 of us.
No, absolutely. And this is what is happening that is so interesting right now, is that people believe they're going crazy. And I actually, interestingly enough, channeled this a few years ago before COVID hit. I channeled that the world was going to be split into these buckets. A lot of people were just going to check out, they were done. A lot of people were going to go crazy. They were going to go crazy. They were going to commit suicide because they thought they were going crazy. But this is the awakening taking place. The veil is being lifted. And as Emma so rightly said, the truth has to come out. And I'm not talking about politics. Your truth has to come out. Your belief system has to come out. And this is why right now so many people are using people like Emma, myself, and all the other, tarot cards, things like that, because people are searching for answers and we just don't know. We just don't know. So, probably putting you on the spot a little bit here, but what's your feels for the future? Like, what have you channeled? Have you channeled anything recently that you think, not to scare people, but to just maybe even give people a little bit of hope?
Yeah, I have channeled. For me at the moment, I feel there's going to be, it's like we're on a seesaw at the moment, and there's a massive switch coming, and we're all going to get that chance to stand in our truth or stay in your fear. because we're literally going to see in front of our eyes, not just going to read it in the newspaper. We are all going to see hierarchies making mistakes, dropping, having to admit they've gone wrong, no longer being in the power that they were in. And then we have to make a choice. Do we stay in fear and we wait for them to tell us what happens next, or do we take back control of our own narrative and our own lives by staying in our own truth?
Interesting. It's interesting because yesterday, I see that too. I saw two paths yesterday. One was going down and one was going up, and it's crunch time. You've got to pick which path you're going on. If you're going up, then it's time to shed all of the stuff that's ever held you back. And the path that's going down, it's time to just recognize you're going to be stuck in a loop for the next however long. And there's a lot of people, Emma, and this is something that's really prevalent right now. There's a lot of people that used to be quite out there in the public eye, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, bloody media, whatever, that are just disappearing. They're just disappearing because they have to, because the farce cannot be kept up anymore.
That's what because I said to Kev, it is almost like the Marvel's movie where they just went, and I've had that a few times where people call it the Mandela effect. I've been talking about something and then I'm like, why is that not there anymore?
Yeah.
And it's people like, it's never been there, and I'm like, oh, it was there yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's just, but this is how it's gonna go. But this is where people need to stay strong, because you're gonna, oh, you're nuts, don't be ridiculous. And no, you're not nuts. You've got to stay in your truth, because we're all born with our blueprints.
Absolutely.
And you just got to go with your own sat nav, not
someone
else's.
And I encourage people constantly through my videos to just stop having people on pedestals, like kick the pedestal away and recognize that you are the most incredible, divine, sovereign being. You know, like we've all had people that we followed, and then all of a sudden we've gone, they're talking a load of bloody nonsense. Doesn't mean you have to have a fallout with them. You just step away and you just go in the direction that you feel is correct. You know, we've all been lied to. We've all been mistreated. We've all been led astray. And we're not here to be victims anymore. We're here to step up and just really recognize the sovereignty and the divinity that we were created to go through this lifetime, all of the hell that we've been through. And Emma has been through her journey. Maybe we'll do another video, but her journey has been really challenging, you know, like it's been challenging. There's been suicide attempts, all sorts of things like that. And, you know, to see you stood here now in love with yourself and honoring yourself and trusting yourself and knowing that you were placed here at this time to help create the shift that's going to help humanity going forward, you know, and identifying things that have held you back and things that have tried to lead you astray, you know, because we've all had those little carrots dangled in front of us that we've gone and then we've been like, what are we doing, you know? So it's very important that we recognize this right now. It's very important that we do come together.
Yeah, it is come together. And you know, the ego it's the hardest one. I love what I do, and I've always I want the best for everyone. And I went down the route when someone showed interest in me, and when they were quite popular, I was like, oh wow, they're choosing me. And then I've read famous people, and I was like, oh wow, I'm being read by them. And then this voice in my head was like, we're all the same. We're all human. We're all came from a woman's womb. You know, we are all the exact same. So I don't need to brag that I've read a famous person or not, because you're just as important to me. Joanne that works in a bank, Kirsty that works in Tesco's, as an actor or actress. You know, Keanu Reeves, he walked in. You know, but sadly with this world, if I was to go on and go, I've read Keanu Reeves, everyone would want to come to me because it's Keanu Reeves. And it's all ego.
Yeah,
But
it
you
is.
know, there's good ego and there's bad ego.
Yeah. And
And
it's about recognizing that. And this whole period that we're working through at the moment is surrendering the ego that's kept us safe, the ego that has kept us from hiding our gifts, those kind of things. That's what we're surrendering right now. You know, I truly believe that ego, a certain amount of ego and knowing your ego is a very, very good thing, because then you can, like, I know my ego. If I call her in, she gets shit done, and I need to get shit done sometimes. You know, like Lucy that you see now is the airy fairy. I flit out off into the realms, and I can channel and I can do this stuff. Do you think she gets stuff done? No. She's the one that David's like, hello, can we have you back on planet Earth, please? Because we need to go somewhere, and you're just flitting around doing your fucking fairy shit.
that was me yesterday and today. I was supposed to be here with you and I was at work. And Chris was like, you're doing an interview with Lucy at 3, and it was like 10 to 3. And I was just helping this woman with the crystals. And I went, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, Emma, I've been telling you for the past 20 minutes. And I was like, and he rowed with me yesterday because he was talking to me. And I just suddenly went, what? And I was talking to me for half an hour, and I was like, do you want me to recall it back?
We're in a different world most of the time, right? We really are. But the thing, and this is why we've got the men that we have, Emma, because we like it out there and they need to ground us back in from time to time, you know, and we have to honor the men. Like, they're doing such a good job of keeping us on the straight and narrow and anchoring us in. Emma, like, is there anything else that you would like to share? Obviously, you can be found at Emporium in Sale in Manchester.
Yeah, Emporium M33 in Sale.
Okay.
Angel Vibrations on Instagram.
Yeah.
Emma J Medium Angel Vibrations. Or
I'll pop all the links. I'll pop all the links in the description, ladies and gents.
I do phone,
Yeah.
internet and phone readings as well. I can do internet, do Zoom.
I know a lot of people, like, I've had, obviously, because Emma and I speak all the time, by default, I've had a lot of information coming from Emma, and, you know, I've sat down and actually had a reading with you myself when I came up one time. I can't remember when it was, but I did. And ladies and gents, you know, I really recommend reaching out to Emma if you are looking to connect with a loved one, or if you are just, you know, you're like, I'm confused, I've got all these feelings going on in my body. Like, go see Emma or have a call with her, do an online reading with her, and allow, you know, let her hold space for you to be able to extract this stuff. And you never know what might come through. I know lots of people that I know that have been to see Emma, and they've been so pleased with the results. You know, it's very difficult, and maybe what we'll do is we'll do another video, and we can do some of the stuff that we normally do, obviously privately, publicly. But I just wanted to get Emma out to the world. She is a gift to the world. You know, like I did with Claire recently. Claire's an absolute gift where healing's concerned. Emma does healing as well, by the way. But, you know, her mediumship skills, her channeling skills, you know, I often lean on Emma when I'm off doing my missions and stuff like that. And I trust her completely. So I just wanted to introduce you, Emma, to my world. I know everybody that came to Soul School has obviously met you. They are delighted with their crystals and their jewelry and stuff like that. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Emma and be like, I don't know what crystal I need, or I don't know what jewelry, honestly, she's amazing with it. She's amazing. She'll literally talk to it and be like, do you want to be with this person? Is this, you know? So Emma's not just a psychic medium. She will help you in so many different ways. She is an absolute gift to this planet, and I feel very, very privileged to have her as a friend, but also somebody that, you know, your family.
You're gonna make me cry.
I like making people cry. It wouldn't be the first time, sweetheart, would it?
Really not.
So what I wanted to do, like I say, I just wanted to bring Emma's vibration into the world. And I think we should do another video in a month or two, see how you go. Because I know that you've been like, oh my God, Emma, you know, I've seen your video. So do reach out to Emma directly, and then we'll be back and we'll do something fun, I think, next time, so that they can see your bloody, because she's amazing. She's amazing. And yeah, I just think it would be really fascinating to do something like that online anyway.
It would. It nearly happened about 5 minutes ago, to be honest. My eyes went and I was like, no, no.
Oh, Em, you should have let it come through. You should have let it come through. I mean, who knows what it would have been though.
I know. That's why I was a bit like, it was when you were asking me what scene's going to happen next. And I was like, no, maybe put it in the group first.
Yeah, we'll just clear that. But next time I do think that it would be really good. We could either do a YouTube live and maybe take questions and see what happens, because I would love to do that with you as well. Because you channel and I channel, and it would just be freaking amazing doing that. Or maybe what we'll do is we'll do a private Zoom call and get people to come along and ask questions and stuff, and we'll do it that way. But I'd like to do more videos of this with you, because I know that you need your confidence up. I know this isn't your preferred method of communication. So I want to get you out to the world, Emma. You deserve so much more than you believe you deserve. So
thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Ladies and gents, please thank Emma for being here with us today. And Emma, I will speak to you super soon, my darling. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you in the next video.